So as I'm sure you guys know by now, there are two versions of Minecraft that are currently being updated. We have the standard Java edition, which has been around ever since Minecraft first came out, and then we have the Bedrock edition, which is actually the more popular version that has sold more copies and is available on more consoles and more devices, even on PC as I'm playing right now. Today I want to talk about some advantages that Bedrock has and why Bedrock is actually better than Java Minecraft, at least some reasons why it is better. So before we get too far into this, make sure you guys leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you are new. We are currently ranked in the top 21 million most subscribed YouTubers on YouTube. I would definitely like to break into the top 20 million sometime soon. So here we are in my Bedrock survival world. I don't really play in this world too often, but one of the biggest advantages to Bedrock that I really like, which I guess is more apparent in like PvP and speedrunning, is instead of having to shift and place a block like this, like you would in Java, which is really slow, you can just place it right in front of you like this, which is so useful and one of my actual favorite features about the Bedrock edition. Another thing, now this might be subjective based on console, based on how good your computer is, but Minecraft Bedrock, it just looks and feels better. It just feels so much smoother as I'm walking around. There's no lag, there's really no random frame drops, everything loads in nicely, and the colors to me just look better. Now I know you can say, okay, but you can just download texture packs on Java Edition, you can just download mods, whatever, which you can't really do on Bedrock. Bedrock doesn't exactly have mods or anything like that, but this is the vanilla game without Optifine, which makes it look better. And I feel like most people, even if you have a really good PC, you still use Optifine because Minecraft is rather, at least the Java Edition, isn't a very optimized game on PC. It doesn't run very well, it has a lot of weird code from what I've heard. While the Bedrock Edition, while it might have some weird code as well, it just looks better and feels better and is so much smoother, and there's a lot less lag even when playing in single player. Speaking of single player, right now I am in a single player world, as you can see. I play this by myself. However, some of my friends, like one of my friends who plays Minecraft on the Nintendo Switch, he actually can join this world for free without having to upload this to his server, without having to pay to his server. From my experience on Java, most server hosts are a pain and just cause a lot more problems than normal. On Java Edition, you can't have what you have on Bedrock, which is random people joining your world. So right over here we have this small little area. Not much, but you know, my friend who plays on his Switch, I play on PC, he comes on sometimes, we play together, he mines, we have this really cool jungle village. Jungles on Bedrock are actually a little bit more rare than on Java from what I've heard, and you can just play with friends without having to pay. Now, the downside to that is the owner of the world has to be online, otherwise the world goes down, but if you're just playing with friends and messing around, you can just play together and have a good time without having to pay for a server, without having to pay for a realm. All you need is an internet connection, add them on your Xbox friends list or whatever, which could be on PC, Switch, PS4, whatever, and just have a good time playing Minecraft with your friend. Now let's get into some of the downsides. As you can see here, I am in the Nether, and this is the old Nether because when this world was made, it was during the snapshots for 1.16, and you can't have snapshots on Bedrock. That's one of the downsides, is I feel like the updates on Bedrock are a little bit slower than Java. Even though Bedrock is seen as like the main version to Microsoft, Java still gets updates first, and Java is seen as more of like the actual version of Minecraft, while Bedrock is kind of just sort of there, despite it selling more copies, so getting slower updates isn't really great. And this is another thing that I have noticed. I don't know if this is true, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but on the Bedrock edition, I've complained about this so much in my videos, it is like impossible to find a Nether fortress. I have not found another fortress on this world. I don't know what it is on Bedrock. On multiple different Bedrock worlds, I have walked hundreds, thousands of blocks before finding another fortress. And on Java, there's been a lot of times where I just spawn, look out, and say, oh, another fortress over there. Never happened on Bedrock on so many worlds that I've been playing. And I've been trying to play Minecraft Bedrock, and I'm trying to speedrun the game. And there's a lot of issues when it comes to speedrunning the game on Bedrock, which I don't really understand. So one thing that's important to understand about the difference between the two Minecraft versions is Java Edition is coded in Java, and Bedrock is coded in C++, which are kind of similar languages in terms of like the syntax and how they're read, but they're still very different. And because of that, you have some weird, quirky differences that go beyond crafting recipes and stuff like that, because those are like changes the developers make. Like, for example, to make boats on Bedrock, you have to use a wooden spoon. You have to use a wooden shovel for some reason. So anyway, on Bedrock, another thing that's really popular in speedrunning, I should say, is the MLG water bucket. The water bucket, probably the most useful item in Minecraft speedrunning. I always make sure to have one. And you can't exactly MLG water bucket. As you can see, I placed the water, I splashed, but I still have the water in my inventory. And if we were to go even higher, like there I didn't take any damage, which is weird because the water didn't even place. So if I go a little bit higher, I think I have feather falling boots on even. I'll take those off just so we definitely take more damage. And yeah, here as you can see, we're not going to die, but we'll definitely take damage from this fall, right? And if I fall, I try to MLG water bucket. That time I got it, it's really inconsistent. So it is possible, but it's just so inconsistent. And in Minecraft speedrunning, when you're using the MLG water bucket so many times, especially in the dragon fight, it makes things a lot more difficult. Now, one thing that I think is an advantage of Bedrock is I feel like you have a lot more settings. Now, I'm going to quickly mention a downside. As I'm in the settings, you can see the world behind me is still like going. In Java Edition, if you're not playing online or have a LAN world or whatever, just standard single player, and you press escape to go into your settings, the world just stops. It doesn't do that on Bedrock for some reason. But what you can do is play with a controller on PC if you really want to. Playing Minecraft with a controller, in my opinion, is like playing a video game with boxing gloves on and feels terrible, but you can really do that. But in the settings, you can see we have a lot more settings that are a lot easier to go through compared to on Java Edition, like friendly fire, show coordinates, all this stuff, which is, it makes things a lot easier. You can set the respawn radius a lot easier too if you really want to. You can turn cheats off a lot easier and do a lot of things. There's no F3. As you can see, I'm running around, I'm pressing F3, nothing's happening. We do have the coordinates in the top left, but that's the only way to be able to display your coordinates, which is arguably the most important part about using the F3 features, to use your coordinates. But there's some other things in the F3 feature that are useful. Like you can see what block you're looking at. You can also see what biome you're in, which is really important. You can also set the chunk borders and stuff like that, so you can see slime chunks a lot easier. In Bedrock, it's a lot harder to figure out where slime chunks are and where slime spawn. You pretty much have to get lucky, like back in the old days of Minecraft. Go caving, hope you find a slime chunk, and then just build a slime farm around it and hope you build it around the chunk properly, otherwise you won't get a proper slime chunk farm, which can be pretty frustrating. And going back to the settings, one thing that kind of bothers me is you can't change your field of view on the Bedrock edition. Now, it's not that much of an issue. When I play on Java, I like to have my field of view a little bit wider just so I can see more on my screen. I feel like on Bedrock, it's a little bit more squished. I don't know why. This is more of a problem with console games in general. I guess Bedrock can be considered a console game because it is cross-platform with console. But even like console FPS games, you can't change your field of view like ever. But on PC you can. I'm not sure why that is. It would be a nice small feature, but you just can't do that for whatever reason. Now I'm happy we ran into this drown randomly, because another cool feature about Bedrock is drowns can drop tridents even if they're not holding one. It makes tridents a lot easier to get. It is a low chance, and this guy, yeah, he's not going to drop one because it's a low chance. But getting tridents on Bedrock's a lot easier, because on Java it's actually pretty rare to get one. And tridents aren't the most useful thing. There's rumors that they're going to be expanded upon in the 1.17 update to be better. I don't really know how true that is, but it's definitely a cool weapon that's easier to get on this version of Minecraft, which I can appreciate. That's going to be about it for the pros and cons about Bedrock, why it is better than Java, and why it is worse than Java. I do plan on making a video like this, focusing on the Java version specifically, so be on the lookout for that. In the end, I'm actually kind of torn as to which one I prefer, because I do actually play both versions of Minecraft. I do like the Bedrock edition more for survival multiplayer, I think, just because it's easier to play with friends without having to pay for a server monthly, without having to worry about like FTP file access and going onto a server, worrying about downtime and stuff. As long as you have internet connection, you can just play with your friends, which is really easy without paying any extra money. But I feel like Java just has a lot of these smaller improvements. Java's definitely better for speedrunning, something I've been into a lot more lately. And Java has some more customability, because you can have plugins and stuff, which are a lot easier. It's a lot easier to mod. You can't really mod this version of Minecraft. Another huge downside I almost forgot to mention is there's a lot more microtransactions in the Bedrock edition. There's DLC randomly, which is really weird. You can pay for some skins. Granted, you can have free skins, like my skin of Seto Kaiba. It's a free skin that I downloaded on the internet. But there's a lot of things you can pay for, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense. You can pay for maps too, and a lot of these maps are kind of a ripoff, and it's really not worth it, because pretty much anybody could just put something on the store, whatever it's called. Either way, I really am rambling. Didn't have a script for this video. I thought about having a script, but I figured let's just talk and see what comes out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, leave a like. One like really does go a long way and helps the channel tremendously, and I really do appreciate it. Helps with the algorithm and stuff like that, which is fantastic. Subscribe if you are new so you don't miss any future Minecraft videos. Be on the lookout for the same video like this, but on Java. So with all that being said, thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time, and bye-bye.